Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? It's raining now. All day it wasn't raining, now it's pissing. So, hope we're all doing well. There's a bit to talk about tonight. Mainly, obviously, you heard the news, I'm sure, what happened in Dublin last night, the violent stabbing of a person I think it was near Grafton Street in Dublin, London, in the city. We'll talk about that now in a second. Obviously, there's a lot of footage online, etc. We get to all that, basically. We have to first talk about Dublin and Cavan, and then we get to that. I know that's probably the main thing of everybody tonight. It should be the main thing. Because Helen McAtee we showed everybody that Dublin was a safe city. So I beg to differ, but unfortunately, man is dead because of this incident. We get into all the details now in a few minutes, but I'm sure a majority of people know about this. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Just doing this here. Yeah, sorry. Hello, Brian. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the incident, Cav. I'm sure you know about that. I'm sure that's your first question to me now. We get to that. There's a lot of information, I suppose, in terms of videos from the one in Dublin of people just seeing it, etc. And video it. There's not so much about the one in Cavan at the moment. And obviously, in Godrich O'Connor and Cavan's not going to tell me. So I didn't even bother to ring on Godrich O'Connor to ask them. Yeah, there was loads of drugs caught in Beltober. Yeah, that's just pretty much out the road from Beltober. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I can put that in. I wasn't going to talk about it, but it seems you mentioned I put it in for tonight because I seen it. Yeah, I know about it. Quite a good bit of drugs. To be totally honest, but it's happening all over the county. It's everywhere. But you know yourself, it's all over everywhere. Every part of Cavan, it's happening. It's just not not a new thing, basically, and especially in Beltober. Beltober, it's kind of known in Ungaldrish and O'Connor as a place that's well known for drugs, for drug labs and stuff. It's very it's not unusual in Beltober. I haven't seen any news. We'll get into that. Yeah, like in Beltober, it's known. Like it's not too long ago since there was another big drug bust in Beltober. It's well known. The Gaudi, if you ask the Gaudi and Cavan, they would say Beltober is pretty much well known because it's across the border. It's near the border. Beltober is just 2 minutes away from the border. So, it's an ideal location for drug distribution, etc., etc. That's what one guard said to me one time. It's an ideal location for drug distribution because it's so close to the border. It can sell to both in the Republic and in Northern Ireland. And in when you think about it, it actually rings true, because they can get two markets, if that makes them go on. Hello, Evan, how are we doing? Yeah, we were just about to go to that too. But it does seem like it's foreign nationals. Now, we don't know what it's over. It could be to do with drugs. It could be to do with anything. It could be just a random thing. Who knows? But it does seem to, because the videos that are online, I'm not going to show you here now because they are fighting. They show somebody with a knife and stuff. But it does seem like it was a foreign national. We don't know what nationality, but presumably not from Ireland, presumably. So we don't know much about what we don't know what to do with. Obviously, we'll probably find out sooner or later. Was to do with drugs was a random thing. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know in Cavan much either. We don't even know who's injured. Yeah. Look at the. You were just looking at the video. Yeah. On my own street, usually cars hanging around. Yeah. Well, in Beltober, it's known. Like just saying about the municipal authorities, like the councillors when they meet, etc., etc. It's well known that there's loads of drugs in Beltober. It's well known. It's happening right across Cavan too. Weird cowards. I know what you're saying. Hanging about. Weird people hanging about at 2:00 in the morning. In other cases and stuff like that, there's suspicious things going on. And a lot of cases, the Gardaí won't do anything about it. There's many instances in Cavan that are too afraid to do anything about it. Yeah, but no, but this is the thing. Beltoba particularly. If you look at Beltoba now in a second on a map, Beltoba is literally 2 minutes away from the border, Northern Ireland. Like literally, you go across the bridge in Beltoba, you're pretty much in Northern Ireland. But Cavan is well known because, as that guard said to me one time, it's a good distribution place because they can sell to both in Northern Ireland and you compare it if they had a distribute. Say if they had a place in Cork, a grow house in Cork, they could only sell around the area in Cork. Up in Cavan, they can sell in Northern Ireland and in the Republic of Ireland. If that makes any sense, because it's so close to the north and it's so close to the south. So pretty much you're in the middle. Pretty much you can make profits from each side. That's what one gal said to me one time. But yeah, but we talk about the incident in Cavan. I don't know if people know about the incident in Cavan. It's not that well talked about. But I don't know who the man is. He's in his 30s anyway. It's about 30, 23, 24. Somebody said to me. I'm not too sure. There's a name that's been said to me about the person who's injured in Cavan. I don't know. I'm not going to say it because I can't confirm it, to be totally honest. I simply can't confirm it, so I won't say it because it could be wrong. That's what I'm saying. It could be wrong. I haven't confirmed it. I tried to confirm it there. I couldn't confirm it. It is the person because the Gaudi are refusing to give any details out. And the Anglo South is no addition. They're not going to do any journalism. They're saying that a man got attacked. That was it. What was it to do with no questions like that? Way back, yeah. But see, yeah, you wing into the Gouda station in Beltoba there with the town. Brian, they do nothing about it. To be totally honest with you. They won't bother to even come out. They might take an hour or two. Because I tell you, but there was one person in Mumbai, I'm sure you know where Mumbai is. He rang into the Gouda station just about suspicious activity, a suspicious car going up and down his road, just outside Mumbai. And it took the guards 3 hours to go out and look and see what it was. By that time, the car was long gone, what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say, even if you rang into the Gouda station, say there's a suspicious-looking cow, it took them 3 hours to bother to go out and look at it. That's what happened. Like the guards in Cavan are very infamous for doing that. When you ring the guards, they take a long time to turn up. For whatever reason, it's not that they're busy or anything. There's a lot of them hanging around. They're just not bothered, I don't think, to do anything. But the Gaudi do, you hear it every night or any time on crime call and stuff like that. If you see a suspicious activity, to wing into the Gaudi station and to wing into your local Gaudi, etc., etc. And that's the thing you should do. But in theory, the Gauds don't do it. In theory, people do the thing and the Gauds don't bother to do it. It's happened before. Like in Cavan, it's infamous for that. There's even people who are bogus on the way to the hours with the Gaudi that turn up. It's the same with the ambulance. It's just not in this county. There's just a problem with not bothering. The girls not bothered to do anything. That's the problem. And the superintendent, the former superintendent in Cavan, was a crook himself. I'm not saying about the new superintendent there at the moment, but the last superintendent before this superintendent, he was selling drugs and stuff like that. He was a drug lord, and he was a superintendent in the Garda Síochána. So you could put two and two together. Let's put it that way. The Gaudi won't like that, but in Garda Síochána. That is terrible. Yeah, that's a few years ago now. Then the new superintendent, I can't think of his name, but that was what he was doing on the side. He was taking drugs and stuff like that and selling them. And he was a superintendent. He was the head of the Garda division here in Cavan. Yeah, and that's what he was up to. So funny enough, he wouldn't be maybe too enticed to stop these drug operations. But again, he's in prison now at the moment for a while. Anyway, he'd be out soon enough. So yeah, there's a man in his 30s. So what I'm going by at the moment, the report I'm getting, that he was 24, 25. So if you know Caventown, you probably know where this is, Brian. So just beside Boyles here, the way the credit unions here, is this is oftentimes open. This, I don't know what you call it, alley. It goes into the back of here. So it was in here. So it was off the street, obviously. It wasn't in the middle of the street. So I don't know, because there was nobody. This was about, I think, 11 o'clock or something, just before midnight. Like it was around 11:30, I was told, around that. So around before 12 o'clock. So there wasn't many people probably here. There would have been a lot of people up at the farm probably, and then the pub is up here on down Bridge Street. But I don't know. There's very few people seeing the incident. Is what I'm trying to say. So it seemed like a man in these 30s. It doesn't seem like he was stabbed. He seems like he was just beaten up and kicked and punched. That's what I told. That's what I've been told. But he does have he's in very bad condition. Um, Most likely, we don't know. It's kind of 50-50 will he survive. Because it seemed to be pretty bad. He was pretty bad because they thought he wasn't going to make it through the night, as far as I could gather. So he's still fighting, as far as I can, as far as I can gather. But yeah, it's pretty serious. He was kicked in the head, it seems, and different things. Not confirmed now, but it seems to be what happened. Going by people that are telling me. Again, I have a name of the person, not the person who assaulted them, but the victim and stuff. But I don't think it's White. It could be wrong. I'm not going to say it anyway because it wouldn't be appropriate for me to say it and him fighting for his life in the hospital. But we don't know anything about who's the perpetrator. The Gaudi, again, this is the thing, the Gaudi and Cavan have a habit of not doing it. They will never say, oh, we know who it is. We're looking for this individual responsible for it. Or we have this fellow in the custody. The Gaudi are not, there's no, they're just saying it's investigated. They're not saying we have a person in custody, all that. They're just, the Gaudi and Cavan are very quiet when it comes to these incidents. We just talked about literally there 2 seconds ago. But yeah, so usually this is open. But they had the gates closed. But they usually open this. You probably know yourself. There's a barber shop in here too. Like it's a bit of an alley. You see, but there's a camera here too. So hopefully that caught up. But again, there's no footage or there's no CCTV compared to the one in Dublin where we had footage and we knew what was happening. There probably is footage, but it hasn't been released around it. But yeah, so it was off the street. If it was on the street, we would have found somebody would have recorded it, and we would have a better idea what was going on. There would have been more people about. It's the fact of the matter. I'm sure if Brian was here too, there's not many people who usually go down this part of here. There's not many people around here around night time in the town because there's not really any pubs here in this part. Up the street here, there's pubs. Down the street here, there's pubs. There's pretty much just shops here and barbers, like the Credit Union of Boyles, and there's a phone shop here. Like, there's not really any pubs in this part of the town here. So there wouldn't be that many people around at 11:30 at night. This part, I don't know if Brian's here. No, but usually it's open. The gates are usually open all the time. Like they just closed them. I say the Gaudi for stopping people to go in, because they were doing a technical examination on that. No, but usually they're open. You ask anybody in Cavan, usually they're always open. They're open at all hours. Because I went by that one morning at 7:30. It was open. So I don't think they closed the gates. They only closed them for the Gaudi, I say. So yeah, obviously we're just talking about the first thing we talked about. There was a murder just literally in the city now, at South Ann Street, just off of Grafton Street, I think it is. So it's pretty serious enough. It was 3:00 in the morning on that. Now, obviously, it does seem to be not Irish citizens. It seems to be international people, whatever. They seem to be not from Ireland, pretty much. They're foreign nationalists who are involved in this incident. As far as we can gather, the perpetrator, anyway, is. We don't know about the victim. But yeah, he's about 30. He's in his 30s. So this was in the inner city, as I say. There's a man taken to hospital. But yeah, where was the Gaudi? Because they were nowhere to be found when this incident. Helen McAtee used to say Dublin was safe and all that, but it's not safe. But again, it shouldn't happen in our city. It shouldn't happen in our capital city. But it does happen, particularly Valentine's night. People going out for dinner for Valentine's night, or going out for a drink, nightclubs, etc., etc. And having to come upon that, people lying bleeding on the ground, and a man dying on the ground. No member of the public should have to come across that. And we have to ask questions. Where are all these guards? You hear the Minister for Justice, the new Minister for Justice. You hear the Garda Commissioner saying there's that many new public order unions. There's guards everywhere. There's an insane amount of guards. Take, for example, all the guards who are coming out of Temple Moor at the moment. They're all going to Dublin. So where are all these guards? They're all sleeping. Where are they? Simple as that. Where are they? Because there's so many new guards in Dublin. Where are they? What are they doing? Where's the other guards? There's so many guards that we hear every day of the week. Are they all busy? Who knows what they're doing, but they're not doing the proper job. Let's put it that way. But it just goes to show you Dublin is not a safe city. Quite posh, but it's an inner city pretty much. From the county's perspective. But it's it's in the city centre. Like Dublin 1, Dublin 2 would be in the city centre by regards. No, I don't go to Turkish bar, but there's a local woman down here who does it. She has a little place rented out from the local butcher man, and that's where I go to. The local woman down here. So that's who I go to and have a chat and stuff like that. Even though there's a lot in the town, I wouldn't go and get my hair cut in the town. I'd rather get a cut around here. But yeah, I got a haircut anyway. It's already grown as much as it did before. But I keep you up to date on what happened in Cavan. As far as there's not much information known. As I said, I was told a name about the victim. We don't know if that's right. I'm not going to utter it because it could be wrong. I haven't confirmed it. We talk about that too. That's coming up too. But we don't know much else about the thing in Cavan. To be totally honest. And the media and the Gardaí are not forthcoming to tell us what they know. But that's influence for the guards in Cavan. They're always... There was an incident up in the town a few years ago where a young girl was attacked and assaulted and more. And there was very little said about that. The media and everything was silent and stuff like that. So it's well known that the Gardaí in Cavan will cover this up too. Regardless, depending on who it is that caused this incident, we see what happens in them. Because there should be probably word out who's the person. We should know. It's nearly 24 hours later. We should know who they're looking for. Do they have a name? Do they have a picture? Who they're looking for? The suspect. Because they have the victim, but who's the suspect? Is he still in the public? Is he a danger to the public? We don't know. That's as simple as that. It's the fact that these questions have not been answered. They should be answered. They really, really should be answered. So we don't know, but we'll keep you up to date. We see what happened in Dublin too. It could have been over many things. Who knows? It could be a random thing. I suppose speculation's not doing any good, but I'm just saying it could be anything really, pretty much. Because usually the main thing when these things happen, what was the cause? What caused this to happen? Was it just a spree at the moment thing? Was it drugs? Was it, a fight, an argument over money? What was it? Well, it wasn't the little girl being attacked. It was a teenager, would say. But that's a good while ago. I talked about the time. But yeah, not many people want to talk about it. That's the thing. But I don't know, would this be the same? It depends who the perpetrator is. But, I think a lot of people, because, see, the local media are no addition when it comes to these things. They just side with Garda Síochána and everything. I'm just going to double check to see is there anything in the local media at the moment about it. Is there any update? Because again, a lot of people are talking about this. Like everybody in Cavan is talking about it at the moment. So it is a big thing, and especially it's very rarely now, thankfully, that somebody gets assaulted or somebody gets hurt in the town. It's usually it's very rarely. It's not a thing that happens often. Which is a good thing to say. But when it does happen, it's well talked about around Cavan. Well, there's still no update on it, as far as I can get them. So we see, what's the story with that. But hopefully, a man who's injured, I don't know. Again, we have a name, I think, but hopefully he recovers. Please God, he does. He's in a pretty serious way, as I say, in the hospital in Cavan General. So hopefully he does recover. Please God. And hopefully the Gardaí do have the suspect, whoever he is, or she, whoever. Hopefully so. So yeah, we'll move on now from assaults and people being murdered and stabbed. Unfortunately, that's the new reality in Ireland. Unfortunately, Every day of the week, you put on the news, you look on social media, somebody's been murdered, somebody's been killed, somebody's been raped. It shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't be happening. But literally every minute, like you will turn on the news now, turn on Forge Media News, or God forbid OT News. Every day. This person's up in court for a murder. This person's up because he raped his daughter. This person's up for this. This person's up for that. This person attacked the granny. It goes on and on. Where does it stop, Willie? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because this person's up for this and that. People are killing each other left, right, and centre. People being attacked. And it shouldn't be happening. There has to be questions on why these things are happening, because it's literally every day, like every day. Like you turn on the news, it's always somebody been murdered, somebody been killed, and it's such a small country too. You have to remember, we're only a country of about 5 million people. There shouldn't be this amount of people being killed and murdered and raped, etc., etc. It shouldn't be happening. Simple as that. In such a small country. And there needs to be questions. But again, the only reason I keep saying it's just the system in this country is too softy. Like the only way to bring back some murders, the death penalty, in terms of murders, etc., etc. The people who commit these murders should be set to death row, because that's the only way to bring some kind of order in the country. Hello, Brick. Nothing at all, pretty much. Nothing at all. In regards, and apart from the video that's from Dublin, but you've probably seen yourself. Anyway, we'll move on swiftly from that. Cavan does recover, please God. Now, just going to this. So, Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. So, Michal Martin would be delighted with this. He's suggesting that we establish a European army. We give up our sovereignty. We give up our defence force. Now, why I say Michal Martin would be delighted? Because the Irish government and the Irish military, the people at the top, they don't believe in an Irish army. They don't believe in a sovereign Irish army. They don't believe in it. They want a European army. That's why they're underfunded for decades. But what I'm trying to say, who is he to tell Europe what to do, pretty much? I know you technically would classify Ukraine as in Europe, in terms of geographically. But who is he to tell the European Union and Ireland and other countries what to do in terms of establishing a European army? But as I say, Ireland, if they do form it, they probably will do it. They will. It's inevitable they will. You can see them pushing for it, especially in Ireland. You can see the NGOs pushing for it, that we join NATO, etc., etc. So eventually they will do it. They will do it. Hopefully Ireland doesn't join. We shouldn't join. Simple as that. Let Europe join if they want. Whatever countries in Europe want to join, they can do it themselves. But we don't want anything to do with it. Simple as that. With a European army. So that's as simple as that. In fairness, though, we have a weird thing in this. National the US government murders are there, yeah. But no, what I'm saying, for such a small country, there's too many murders and crimes and stuff like that. There's too much. That's what I'm saying. And you always hear the same people over and over again who are committed crimes before and got out on bail, etc., etc. Like the cycle always repeats itself. So that's the thing because it shouldn't be really happening. There's people getting murdered every day in this country. There's people getting assaulted and stuff. And it shouldn't be happening. Again, it's such a small country. Whatever but the United States is a huge country. I get what you're saying in that. And obviously more people, etc., etc. So there's more likely to be psychopaths, etc., etc. And the more people you have, the more likely there's more fine range of psychopaths. But in terms of Ireland, it's only a small country. There shouldn't be as much murders as there is, and killings and rapes, etc., etc. And a knife crime too. It's a newish thing, as Fiona said. Yeah, it never really existed. There was always just things in knives, of course, in Ireland, but it never really existed up until now. In terms of knives and different instruments to be used to stab people. It never was that. It was more of an English thing. It was never really an Irish thing. To be totally honest. Now it's becoming prevalent. That's the thing too. Years ago it was bombings and stuff like that, In Northern Ireland and stuff with the Troubles, obviously. Then there was shootings and stuff like that. That was the thing back then. But there never really was much stabbings. There was more shootings and bombings and stuff like that. So it's a new kind of thing in Irish society now that the stabbings, with objects, not even knives, box cutters was used in that instance, scissors and stuff like that. You know. And to be totally honest, a knife is nearly worse than the gunshot. To be totally honest, because a knife is, you're up close, with the person. You can't stab somebody from the other side of the room. You have to be up in their face. And particularly if they get you in the throat and stuff like that. A gunshot, you can survive from a gunshot, depending on where you get hit. But with a knife, obviously, you're up in the person's face, so in the, near their chest and heart. It's a lot more dangerous. It's up close, and you can do a lot more damage a knife compared to a bullet, depending obviously where it hits. But a knife is a lot more dangerous. Hello, Kevin. How are we doing? But no, it's a lot more dangerous knife, in my opinion. This than the gunshot and stuff. And I think a lot of people have the same thing because it's a lot more. You can survive a gunshot more than you can survive. No, obviously not a shotgun and stuff like that, but compared to a knife, because you have to be up literally in the person's face. You can't throw a knife from the other side of the room and land in the person's neck or whatever. So you were just saying this earlier on, Brian, about the 500,000 euro of drugs caught in October there, and no arrests were made. Great. I wonder why. But yeah, a lot of drugs, a lot of drugs. But there you go. But again, there's many. This happens all the time in October. There's loads of places for drugs and stuff like that, like drug dens and stuff like that. It's well known. So this is funny. Ireland unchanged a 10 to the Global Corruption Index. Really? They're all doting if they take Ireland. I thought they had a survey, but yeah. Denmark, Finland, and Singapore were the top of the three. I don't know how Finland is in the top three at the moment. At the moment, with the current Finnish government, I don't know how it's there. But yeah, usually it's always it's no surprise that Denmark and Finland beforehand were always top, in terms of the least corrupt countries in the world. But let's be fair, Ireland, come in 10th in the 10th least corrupt country in the world. Who is having a laugh here? Who is having a laugh? Because let's be fair, you're delusional. If you think Ireland is the 10th least corrupt country in the world, you are absolutely delusional. And this journalist here, Paul Cunningham, he's very delusional. We probably should be near Venezuela in terms of that. The only corruption we see is the tip of the iceberg. There's more underneath. But yeah, so these are all bullshit, as they usually do in RT, because any sane person would tell you if Ireland is 10th in terms of least corrupt country, there's something very, very wrong in the country. There's something very wrong. Democracy is an illusion. But anyway, going back to European defence and all that. Not affect on neutralities. So Ireland spends the least on defence among the 38 European member states. So pretty much, I said this before, Malta and other countries are spending more on defence. Literally Malta and Luxembourg. Think about that, Luxembourg. And Liechtenstein is spending more on defence than Ireland. Liechtenstein. What kind of idiots are we, in Ireland, that we haven't spent, look at this, spends nearly more than Ireland on its GDP. It's a queer joke. It is really, really a joke that literally Malta, Austria, and Switzerland spends more than, the Irish government. It's insane. And then Liechtenstein and Luxembourg spend more on defence than Ireland. This is turning into a joke, in terms of that. Because let's be fair, we should be better than Liechtenstein. Let's be. It's not much to ask. Liechtenstein and Luxembourg's only tiny countries, and they literally have the bigger. They have bigger. They could literally come over here and take over the two Liechtenstein, with a bigger military and stuff like that. It's insane. Liechtenstein. Yeah, and it's beyond anybody how we got that ranking. It's beyond whatever about Finland, maybe before the current Finnish government. Like, it's questionable how they got to second place, Finland, because the current Finnish government, they're not the nicest people. Well, Ireland's supposed to be the richest country in the world. Like, we're supposed to be one of the richest countries in the world. Actually, true, we're supposed to be one of the richest countries. Luxembourg too, is supposed to be a rich country, but they have too much. Feck off, Irish Mill. There was a trainee guard arrested for allegedly stealing wallets from victims of crime while taking statements. Only the best and the brightest in the Garda Síochána. And again, this fellow was supposed to be a member of Garda Síochána going around helping people that are in difficulty or investigating crimes, and he's crooked himself. Stealing wallets from victim of crime, people that are after going through traumatic experiences. God forbid a woman that was after being assaulted by her boyfriend, being assaulted on the street, and this trainee guard is more worried about taking their money and their wallets when they're lying dying on the ground than taking statements. Like, he probably should be going to prison for this, because especially as a guard and as a member of the defence forces, you're held to a higher standard than an ordinary person. And again, this fellow shouldn't have a great. It'd be ludicrous now if this turns out that this guard's allowed to become a member of Garda Síochána, a full member of Garda Síochána, because he should be getting the boot, and along with that, he should be going to prison for a while, for a few years to teach him some manners. But again, these are the people going into Garda Síochána, lunatics, that are committing crime, breaking the law. There you go. We're well looked after in the state. So the crooks have to catch the crooks. Liechtenstein is its own country. It's not a part of Germany. It's its own country. But isn't that great? So if you ring up your local Garda station now and report that your house has after been burgled, the Garda you turn up and burgle it again for you. They take your wallet out. When they're taking your statement, they take your wallet and everything in your pocket and your phone and everything. So that's great. So you were robbed twice. Lovely stuff. But again, this fellow shouldn't have been in Garda Síochána in the first place. I presume he had a criminal record and stuff. But not. It should be, the best of the best in a Garda Síochána. Doesn't seem like in that situation that it was the best of the best. But again, just saying, that's what's happening in the Garda Síochána. We're not recruiting the best people. Like, I'm sure people remember that guard that gave an elderly man a bicycle that was worth 50 euro that was lying in the back of the Garda station for a few years. He gave him a lend of a bicycle. And the whole Garda went up in flames about it. Like, Drew Harris wanted to prosecute him and everything for it, because he didn't fill out the right paperwork for it. I'm sure people remember that. And they literally kicked up fucking holy hell about it, the Garda. They were like, this is a disgrace. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure people remember that. Like, it was a disgrace that guard had to go through what he did. He shouldn't have had to go through what he did. That guard to give that man a bicycle. And again, these people are allowed to go into Garda. Like, again, that guard was doing a good deed for your man, and they wanted to prosecute him. They wanted to put him to prison. The Drew Harris wanted to kick him out. They suspended them too from Garda Síochána because he gives an elderly man a bicycle. Oh yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's always what I've been saying, Erwin, only that we need to defend ourselves, as Sana said. Because at the moment in time, it's the government's own defence forces committee that they established. They can't defend one county in Ireland. The simple stat of the defence forces. And that's something that you need to know. You're subject to military law. I know that. You can get military court-martials and stuff like that. I know that. But that's what I'm saying. You hold to a higher standard. It obviously is a lot more brutal It's a military tribunal more than it's a military tribunal more than the civil tribunal. But I'm sure you would agree you hold to a higher standard because you're in a military. You take a note of allegiance to the country, to the people of Ireland, to uphold the constitution, etc., etc., to uphold the law. Uh, you know, I get that in the military, but of course there should be a lot more fearsome. Because you took that oath of allegiance to serve the country. Yeah, literally, it was only a small country. It's probably only the size. It's barely even. It's probably only about 3 kilometers long. It said, "Hello." I don't know. Whoa, I think that's whoa. How you doing? You're wondering for equality office for Oakland Fianna Fáil. Well, good luck with that. I wouldn't agree with Oakland Fianna Fáil in general, but good luck. Good luck in that anyway. But fair play to you for one vote. I wouldn't agree with them personally, but you do what you do. Whatever makes you happy. So that's the main thing. Yeah, I was just looking at that actually earlier on, but I don't know if it's a migrant now, so don't be counting that yet because there's very little known at the moment about it. So we should see. I see it's just literally after seeing it now 10 minutes ago. So I don't know. It could be. It might be. Who knows? But yeah, as I said, there's a lot more stabbings than ever before. Give me a moment, sorry. Yeah, with Cyprus, there's a British military base on Cyprus, and Turkey owns some of the island, doesn't it? As far as I remember, I never really had much cause to ever look at Cyprus, but I think there's a British military base on it. Obviously, former British colony to Cyprus for a long, long time. Yeah, Turkey owns half the island, and the British have one part, so it's pretty much split in three. As far as I can remember, I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but never really had much time. Never really had much reason to look at Cyprus. You know, no, never really had much reason. But that's what I take in it. Yeah, along the Turkish border, yes, and then there's the British military base. Yeah. Hello, later. How we doing? Mine doing how well? No, that's terrible. Awful stuff. Yeah, like it'd be the main Mediterranean base, probably there in Cyprus. Um, the only thing I can remember about Cyprus, the only thing I ever learned about Cyprus is there was a murder there a few years ago, and there's a lake, like it's all polluted, etc., etc. Oh, hello, Wayne. I didn't know it was you. I didn't see. I didn't know what the account. I didn't know who it was. Sorry. Hello, it's Wayne. Hello. I was thinking. I was like, who would that be? It's you. Um, Apologies, but because I did, you didn't have your name. Like it was just wow. Um, as your profile name, I couldn't see your name. Oh, that's great. Yeah, well, of course, this should be abolished for the means test for chaos. That should be done. But Fianna Fáil, Micheál Martin promised he'd do it, and Simon Harris promised it too. So it'd be very shitty if they didn't do it, because they pretty much hoodwinked everybody. They were going to do it, so they pretty much should do it. After promising they should, after promising they do it, they have to do it now. So, so you better hold them to account in that, in terms of the higher ups of Fianna Fáil. Because there's no point saying something before the election, then not doing it afterwards. But I don't think it'll be much of a thing because they probably will do it. So It's just about getting them. It's just keeping the pressure on them to do it. Because Simon Howard said he'd make all colleges free, etc., etc., and there hasn't been awards since but that. That's Fine Gael, I know. But Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil are pretty much one of the same at the moment. They're not anything to distinguish them. Yeah, I didn't know who it was at the time. That's why. Apologies for that. I didn't know who it was at the first when I first read it because it was just a random YouTube name. Uh, so JD Fads made a good speech at the Munich Security Conference. Excuse me, and he was like, pretty much Europe has thrown free speech out the window. Excuse me, has thrown free speech out the window, and he's right in that Europe has thrown that out the window. We see in Ireland with the hate speech bill what they want to do. We see in England now, it's like fucking communist Russia in terms of England at the moment, what they want to do in England. You can't do it. You can't question the government now. You'll be arrested pretty much in England. And if you're praying on the side of the road, they're going to throw you in jail. Like England has gone to hell, like pretty much. And Ireland's gone to hell to a certain extent at the moment. When this hate speech bill goes through, it's definitely gone to hell. But even just not even in Ireland, across the whole of Europe, we see this in France and Spain and other countries. The restriction of free speech, the restriction of freedoms that people had enjoyed for donkey's years is the foundation of Europe. Things that people fought and died for, and they're being restricted now. So he's right in saying, G.D. Fats, the freedom of speech is on the retreat in Europe, and we have to work on that because we can't be saying democracy and democracy and democracy about Russia, China, and not worry about our own democracies first, because we have to make sure our people are happy and that they can speak freely and have the opinions heard, etc., etc. But that's not happening in Europe nowadays, unfortunately. So we can't criticize. We can criticize China, of course, because communism and stuff is evil. It's the devil's work, communism. But still, at the same time, we can't have double standards. We have to be as best as we can as Europe, as the Western democracies. And that means having total free speech. In terms of, obviously, with some restrictions, of course. You can't go around threatening to kill people and stuff like that. That goes without saying. Them kind of things are no-brainers. But in terms of saying a man can't become a woman, you shouldn't be locked up for that and things like that. And then Europe comes around and says, no, this is not acceptable. You can't have your free speech. How dare you? Just tells you all you need to know. I think there's one. I'm not too sure. I think there's one, yeah. Yeah, I think there's one, yeah. I actually, I know there is one. Can't think of any other ones, no. There's only one, yeah. There's only one. There's one in the town. There's not one. I was thinking of another place, but that's not. It's another place. It's not a mosque, but it's another kind of thing. That's Jehovah's Witnesses. No, that's another place. No, there's a place down in Ballyconnell, but that's Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, so only one. Yeah, made moderators. Yeah, we don't really need moderators. We have 3 at the moment. There's not really much need. It'd be different if we had 80 people in here. Yeah, there's one in Cavan. That's the only one in the county, as far as I'm aware. It'd be different if it was 80 people in the chat. We would need more moderators, but we don't really need them. Hello, Gordon. Good evening. How are we doing? If that makes any sense. So if there's ever any time where more people come in, etc., etc., we will get a few new moderators. But at the moment, we don't need them. Where's that? It's out by Little, I think. What they call it, Little. It's Little, yeah. Just out there. It's the Banya Road. That's what it'd be called, yeah. That by the Banya Road. It's hard to describe it. It's out that direction. I can't think of the townland area, but it's somewhere out there. No, I don't think it's near the cinema. No, it's not near the cinema. It's out Little direction. Oh, it's out. Yeah, it's out near the Dole office. Yeah, but if you go to the junction, you know where the Dole office is there in Cavan. Do you know the junction? The junction that's desperate. If you go out towards Badingham, if you go that way towards Badingham, That's the way you need to go. It's out that direction, somewhere out there. Um, that's what I think it is, and I know it's somewhere there. Um, Never really had much reason to look, but I think that's where it is. Somebody was telling me one time about it. Imagine I'm majority of the time literally in my week in Cavan town, and I don't know where it is. Like I know roughly where it is, but I don't know exactly where it is. Well, the government already known before they when she's Minister for Education. Um, I don't know if you're talking about the school bus pass. Is that what you're talking about? Um, like the majority of children who go to school and school buses, CIE buses, bus Aaron buses, have free bus passes. Majority of children do. Um, Majority do. So I don't think there's much need in that because it's already really in. It's only the people who can't get seats, like we've seen in Cavan a few just before September. Those children couldn't get a school bus ticket. Um, so yeah, just coming to this. So the state spent over €1 billion on iPad sectors. Pretty much what I'm trying to say by iPads, the work proficient sectors. Now this is what they're telling us. I already put a video out on this, but this is what they're telling us. Who knows if it's true? It's probably not true. It's more like 5 billion, like hundreds of like if you add in those social welfare, you add in the health expenses, the travel expenses, etc., etc. This is only counting the accommodation. So if we added all the rest, they're going to be 5 billion. So, but there you go. Money just, and you probably wonder how much that is a day. It's 2.7 million a day on the work proficient sectors. 2.7 million, nearly 3 million a day of our taxpayer dollars is going towards that. So be happy. Are you on Facebook? Yeah, we're not. I'm never really on Facebook looking at things. Um, like I never really am on it. It's more Twitter I'm on. Uh, like I do have an account, but I never use it too much. Like it's very rarely you see me on Twitter, like Facebook. Sorry, not Twitter, Facebook. It's more Twitter. Like the majority, even now, I'm on Twitter. Like I'm never usually on Facebook. What is happening here? Yeah, it's just a money racking scheme. To be totally honest. Like, I'm sure you agree. There's so many people becoming rich off it. You pointed that out earlier on. There's people becoming very rich off it. I would double the numbers here. And I don't know. I won't give anybody spell it. There's no need for any extra moderators. I'm not really that in. Like I'm happy enough with what the numbers I have at the moment. If that makes any sense. So, I'm just tricking about here. Um, I think that's really the majority of stuff I want to talk about. We'll be doing a game and live stream later on. Um, so just to say, just after this, we'll be doing a game and live stream. I don't get any. I don't want any ads on this channel. I don't have any GoFundMe's or anything like on this channel either, or PayPal or anything like that. So pretty much I make nothing from it, Kieran. I hope you know that I don't make anything from YouTube. No, it's not that late game. We're playing another game. But I don't make any money from YouTube whatsoever. Don't make anything. Don't make a penny. And it's all the better because again, I'm talking about things that are of political importance to the country and stuff like people who are who are suffering, etc., etc. So it's not appropriate for me to take money in terms of that, and especially I have a job, I don't need the money. Um, only comment, the only comment. I thought you were being serious with me a second. No, because a lot of YouTubers, like a lot of people do take just people who do YouTube looking for money. Like I often had people thinking that I was looking for money and stuff like that on YouTube. Like, see, there's a lot of political YouTubers and stuff like that straight away as soon as they get started. They're looking for money basically for talking about things. If that makes any sense. Yeah, Finnish agent, yes, indeed. So yeah, we just chat for a few minutes and just give me a second just to do something, and then we go on to the game. How does that sound? When am I going to review when it comes out? I'm hardly going to review when it hasn't come out yet. It's not coming out until November, 9 months away. I'm not going to review it when it hasn't even come out yet. Maybe Santa might hook me up with an early copy of it. If we ask nicely, if everybody asks nicely of him, you know. No, it's not already out. Jeez, we've been talking about it now. It was already out. No, it's in November. It's not coming out until November the 14th. So it's a long way away still. No, November the 4th, sorry. Which news? What news? Sorry. In terms of which? On the wheel corruption. Which corruption? But there's that much, Tony. Where do you want me to start? Are you talking about Aaron Brady? Yeah, there's definitely something there that's not right. Let's put it that way. Like, I could write the book on it, Tony. Like, you want me to start from Garda Shin O'Connor? Do you want me to move on to the Defence Force? Do you want me to move on to the HSE? We could write the book. When is your book about Santa coming out? What am I going to write a book about Santa for? Like, tell people what they already know. How Santa great. Santa biography. I don't like Jesus be the most schizo biography ever. Because I can barely spell my own name, let alone write an autobiography. How's the wife? How's the son? Anybody get that reference? How is the Son of God? How is the Son of God? Yeah, Father Ted reference, just to say. Also, the Tick Father Ted is racist. I know, such a shock. But yeah, Channel 4 now, if you're ever watching the Father Ted episode, particularly the one, I think I talked about this the other night, the one where he says, I am Chinese, and with the Hitler salute, etc., etc. They put a warning now for that it's sensitive content, etc., etc. So, Government spending's up by 50%. So basically, the government spending more money than they ever did. That's great. For little to no return. Yeah, but then no, that's to do with the Father Ted episode. That Father Ted. So watch the next if you have it on next night. At the window, yeah. Oh no, it was funny now. Whatever, maybe somebody say it was insensitive, etc., etc. But it's funny now. You wouldn't get off with doing it nowadays. But it's a funny skit. It meant no harm to anybody, in my opinion. It wasn't out to do any harm into that. That's what I think it was. It was just it's a funny skit. Unfortunately, nowadays people don't get comedy and stuff like that in terms of that. Oh, well, wasn't that as dark? It wasn't too dark now. I've seen worse. I've seen worse. It's not too bad. Are you asking me? Do I have news? Or are you asking? Are you telling me? I don't know if you're asking me or you're telling me about news. Well, tell me the news then. Oh, it's not the outage. Like Channel 4 is BBC, like pretty much a British broadcasting. Like from the UK, it's not an Irish thing. It becomes off the guy. Like it's not that dark. No, it's not that. Like there's topics, there's channel, like there's things like that you wouldn't call dark. It's more. I don't know what you would call it, but I wouldn't call it dark. It's not too bad. Nothing like that. Make tea. No. We spend billions of dollars and dollars. Would you believe it's nearly St. Patrick's Day? In 2 days' time, the 17th is Monday. And then there's a month literally to St. Patrick's Day. Imagine that. Think about that for a second. That we're already near St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, but go on. Tell me the news. Come on. Tell me the news. It's over a month away. Yeah, literally. Well, no, from Monday, it's literally a month. Exactly a month. But that's what I'm saying. Imagine 3 months of the year is nearly gone already. Think about that. That's more or less what I'm trying to say. Ai, Fitto. Yes, go on, Gordon. Throw the movie back. Yeah, the fortress ignorant. Yeah, well, a lot of people criticizing the vote. They probably won't do it because a lot of people are very upset over it. And so rightly so. Because at the end of the day, it's only shits and giggles pretty much. That's really what it is. It's not really out to annoy anybody. What do you mean? Gee, what game it is? We see. It's going to be a bit more chilling. We're not moving on to a new game, so to say. What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about the thing on the door Wednesday, wasn't it? Yeah. What about you? Ask me. He definitely did. He said it in our square. Like, yeah, he definitely did it because it's on the door records. That he did call her in Irish. Yeah, he did call her a liar in Irish, and you're not really supposed to in the doll standing orders of the doll. You're not supposed to call somebody a liar. You can say they're spreading mistruths and stuff, but you're not supposed to directly say they're a liar in terms of the parliamentary system and stuff. Especially, he didn't really present facts what he was saying about liars. Even though I don't like Mary, I don't like Micheál Martin either. He doesn't believe in the backward looking idea of sovereignty. And again, especially him, he's no addition. Miha Mount, no Mary Lou. The whole lot of them are not really much addition. Um, but yeah, no, we did call Olio and Square Tuck. Yep, Square Tuck. Yeah, Sean Mack isn't here yet. He probably didn't get a notification. If that's what you were referring to, I don't know if you're asking me about it or you're telling me. Which one are you telling? The whole lot of them are telling lots of lies. Mary Lou McDonald's telling lies. Simon Harris is telling lies. They're all telling lies. Why are you winning? We have to ask Charlie Flanagan why he's running away. Charlie Flanagan's the man that runs away all the time. He was asked the question once and he ran like the wind. Yeah, you'd be gone. You couldn't do it. You'd be out. Just imagine the amount of money you had to spend on Falco. You'd be gone. You'd be dead. It'd be insane. You'd be gone. Like, you'd be totally gone. It'd be billions of euro. You'd be spending €1 billion a year on Falco. Like, you'd be insane. What do you want to hear about my new policies in Oakville? What do you mean new policies and new stuff? What do you mean? I don't quite get what you're saying in terms of what you're saying. Like, what policies are you talking about? But what do you mean about new policies approaching to walk in the Dáil? Like, what do you mean? The we're back in with the same crowd again. Like, Fianna Fáil, we're back in with Fine Gael again. So pretty much it's the same old, same old. Nothing really changed, apart from a few Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil independents. Michael Lowry, etc., and them people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Charlie Flanagan that time, and not even that. You remember Niall McConnell? I think it was at the Ploughing Championships. Was it? Yeah, I might be wrong. It's a long time ago, but I think Niall McConnell asked Charlie a question. He went one. I'm not too sure, Kevin, but don't quote me on that one. Yeah, but what policies exactly are you talking about? That's what I'm trying to find out. Like, you're talking about the Fed's policy, you're talking about what policy? Because there's tons of policies. Every political party has a policy on something. Like, even the Oakland Fianna Fáil, if we looked up the page or Facebook page or whatever, or Twitter page, they would have policies on the Feds, the policies on crime, justice, equality, other stuff, even house and things like that. Like, you have to be specific with what policy you're talking about exactly. Like, just calling Mary Lou liar, calling Mary Lou liar in Irish is not a policy. It's pretty much just a statement or an opinion. It's not a policy if that's what you're talking about. I'm trying to figure out what policy you're talking about. Like, which policy are you referring to? Because there's not just the policy. They can't just say it's the policy without giving an explanation what is the policy. But I suppose what are you trying to tell me? I suppose what do you mean? No, but what are you trying to tell me? I suppose in terms of the policy, a new approach. That's the way you phrased it. Oh, but that policy is already in Brian for a long time. Bum, bum. Yeah, passing through. Yeah, well, it's just we're giving the visas to wrong people. I'm looking to walk in the dorm. My policies are good school transport and wheelchairs actually. But what do you mean walk in the door? Like become a TD and stuff like that? Oh, do you mean just nut or something like that? But you need to, it's all well and good. Like the school transport thing, the main issue, I'm sure you know yourself, it's about people not getting tickets and stuff like that. That's interesting. Uh, and should be wheelchair accessible to schools. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, but there's special buses and stuff to put on. Um, but so you're more focused on, how would you put it? Is the educational system. Yeah, there's an educational policy. But yeah, but like all political parties, regardless of what political party, it's always have more policies than just one policy. Like even just take for example me. Like you always hear me banging on about the feds every day of the week. The Fed spending, etc., etc. You hear me banging on. It's that bad. If the country was attacked in the morning, if we were invaded, it's hopeless, pretty much, the fight. So we have to give up some kind of means to the feds. And particularly as nailed out many, many times with the feds. And in terms of crime, etc., the country's far too soft and criminals. And particularly people who come over here, break our laws, etc., immigration system, etc., far too soft. We need to strengthen it. We need to make sure that people are very terrified of breaking the law. They fear the consequences. And there will be consequences if somebody breaks the law, etc. Like many policies like that. You hear me every day of the week talking about it. There's not just one policy that suits all. Equality officer. But why equality office? Why are you running for equality officer? Uh, like, is it to do with the school, like the school thing you're saying? Would it not be better try and become, I don't know if there's such thing as an educational officer, a spokesman for education for Oakley Fianna Would that not be a better thing if your thing is, education in terms of school transport, etc.? Would you, instead of becoming the equality officer, because I wouldn't go for the equality officer. Whatever, if I was an Oakley for, like, I think I would need my head tested if I was going for Oakley Fianna But if I personally was going for it, I would go for the spokesman for the feds. And I'd be questioning Micheál Martin all the way through it. Because I'd be asking him, why does he not believe in an Irish sovereignty? He believes in everybody else's sovereignty. Palestine should be sovereign, he says. Ukraine should be sovereign. Every country in the world should be sovereign. But Ireland, we don't want it backwards looking at your sovereignty. But I wouldn't last. I'd be there 5 minutes and I'd be gone. Like, they wouldn't let me in anyway. They know I would say that. And Micheál Martin would fucking hide under his table if I was there. Because I would question him on the feds. That's what I would be good at, the Queen of Justice too, the Justice spokesperson. They know Greek Fianna Fáil. But I'd be asking too many tough questions on immigration. How is this person allowed to come into the country and do this? And there'll be no answers and they'll be thrown out. that'd be basically it. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why the equality officer, like, what's your thinking behind going for it, I suppose? That's what I need to ask him. Like, what do you hope to change, I suppose, as equality officer? Like, is it just for the local Oak Fianna Fáil, or is it the national Oak Fianna Fáil? Are you talking about? Are you talking about the local level, or are you talking about the national level of Oak Fianna Fáil? But it's this one of the two. It's either the national or the local. It's the same in Cavan here. But What's this? Uh, I just got a cute cat video. That's such a thing. Like I know it sounds weird, but just a weird, cute cat video. Like just it's weird. I just got it there on Twitter. And yeah, like that. That's what I was laughing at there because um just randomly. It was just scrolling through Twitter randomly. Um, you know, it's funny to see, I suppose, the cute cat videos like with big wide eyes. Hello, Little England. Sorry, I was too busy on about cute cat videos. I just seen it there and was like, I have to say about it. I was going to show you, but I've lost it now. I was looking at it and then I've lost it. Yeah, there's a cat. Like, did I not tell you there's a cat cafe that I was in Helsinki? Did you not know that? Like, there's cat cafes in Finland. You know, did you just not know this? Are you not aware of it? I didn't take many videos or photos of it, but um, but I was there. I was in one of them. I'll be going to another one soon too. Wink, wink. Um, I don't know if that music's too loud. Don't even know. Um, yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Oakland Film like equality and equity. There's such a thing too as an equity officer, not in the Fianna, not in Oakland Fianna I'd say, but in other countries that were whatever they call it, you know what I'm saying. Hmm. See, that's why I was saying you should go for the what they call it, education spokesperson, whatever that would be called. If it's the national Oakland Fianna because as I said to you, I would go for the defence one if I was them. Yeah, they've done Irish, 5,000 new Irish citizens. Yeah, it's just the usual thing there. Nothing new there. Said it's a good look. Spend thousands of dollars. Also, apparently there was somebody tortured in Blanchardstown. There's very little information, but apparently there was somebody tortured, but like with boned and stuff like that. Terrible thing. We stay here for another few minutes into half eight, and then we go on to the game. How does that sound? Is that okay with everybody? It won't be too long of a game and live stream tonight. Um, but we stay here for another few minutes and chat. It's good to just have a chat. See, there's not enough chat nowadays in society. Nobody talks to anybody nowadays. Yeah, I was in England, like London. That's happening every 10 seconds. Um, like. Do do do. Do 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 do. Move this a bit closer to me. How does that sound? So it does seem you were talking about the 14-year-old boy that was killed in Austria. It does seem like he's an asylum seeker. I could be wrong, but it does seem, going by local media reports, because that's what I'm just looking at here in Austria. It does seem like he is some kind of, he's not from Austria as far as I can gather. Going by, because there's pictures online, but it might not be him, so we don't know. So who knows if it's him or not, but it doesn't look to be. If she became a man, that's an awful thing to say. You nearly should be West for that comment. Where's Keir Starmer? We need to West you. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response now. To be totally honest, I'm not in disgust with that one. To be totally honest. Where's Keir Starmer? We need to throw you in prison. And that's a disgrace. I need to ring up Helen McAtee now to get the hate speech bill out. Nobody wins, exactly. Nobody wins, because you see yourself without so much money, hundreds of millions of euro. That's just an accommodation. That doesn't include the rest of the stuff. It's a lot of money too. It can go to great use for Irish people. And again, it's going down the drain, unfortunately. And again, a lot of these people thrown around and do crimes, unfortunately. And a lot of them don't even have identities coming into the state. So they're hiding identities from us. I spoke the truth. Yeah, I know that. But the whole media are very upset. The whole politicians are very upset. Micheál Martin's very upset. Everybody's upset. But see, they can't really do anything because it's the United States of America. The leader of the Western world, the vice president of the Western world, they can't really do anything to shut him up, We do have free speech. Yeah, like they're very upset over that. Oh, what have I clicked on? Sorry, go back. Also, apparently, Little England. I don't know if you're probably still here. Yeah. Apparently, in the United Kingdom, for the Royal Navy, they have more admirals, like people in the Navy that are high over the ships, pretty much. They're more admirals than they do ships. Apparently, that's true. I don't know. Did you ever hear that before? Only after hearing about that today. I don't know. Did you ever hear about that before? Yeah, like he had a criminal offence in Slovakia. He shouldn't have been here. Ooh. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that the Royal Navy is something like that. They have 60 something boats, and they have something like 80 admirals for 60 something boats. What I'm trying to say is there's more admirals, like people that top over the ships, than there is ships itself to command. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you ever heard that before. Who are you asking later? Or you asked me to explain myself. Are you asking? Who are you asking? Sorry. Oh, you're talking to Little England or who? Which one? Sorry. Explain yourself, Adrian. What have you done? No, I don't think it's the biggest navy in the world. No, the Royal Navy is not the biggest. Back in the day, they used to war, but not nowadays. No, it's the United States of America. It's the biggest fleet in the world. No, the Royal Navy is not as big as it used to be. Britannia used to be, otherwise. It's not the biggest fleet in the world. No, the United States of America has something like, is it 10 aircraft carriers or something like that, and the United Kingdom only has 2. So, the United States of America has an insane amount of fleet ships. It's not the big it's not the biggest navy. The United States of America is something like 200 ships or something like that, like destroyers and frigates and aircraft carriers. The United Kingdom only has 60 something. Yeah, it used to be. Yeah, it's only 60 something as far as I can get them. Like, you only have about 8 submarines and stuff like that. Like, the US has something like nearly 100. you know, so you're outmatched really in every regard. Yes, the United States, and then it would be China that have the biggest navies. The United Kingdom is nowhere near that. Well, I can't speak for Ireland because we only have one whole ship in the country out in patrol. Yeah. Is Ryan still here? I don't know if Ryan's still here. What's that? Can't even see this message. Oh, it didn't even come up. It went off and it didn't even come up. Yeah, it has a navy, but navy quotation marks. One ship, lovely. That's the navy. One ship. So that's all it has. One ship. There's loads of ships docked in port. There's about, I think there's 5 or 6 ships docked in port. So great navy. But we never had a big navy in them. Oh, I know he does. Yeah, I know he does. Oh, I know he does. Yeah, he does. He does have special needs. I know that. I'm very aware of that. God save us all. Yes, I know that. And compared to, we have so much territory to police. Like in terms of the waters around Ireland, it's a huge, huge amount of waters, particularly out in the Atlantic. What's your favorite? What? I don't even know what you mean. Fine. But yeah, one ship at the moment because they won't pay people to be sailors on the ships. That's the problem in England. And also, the guns don't walk on the ship. The guns are there just for show. The guns don't walk. I don't even know. I don't know what to say to that one, Brian. To be totally honest, I generally don't know. To be totally honest. I do not know the answer to that question. Oi, Vito. What is this now, sorry? So I'm just messaging someone in Twitter. What is this? Sorry. So I'm just looking at stuff here now. Just making sure that I have covered everything I really want to cover tonight. You sent me a message on Facebook, did you? Oh, that was you that sent me that. I have to look now. It might take me a second to find out. But what are you saying? What, like, is it a private thing you want to? Because I'm never really on Facebook, so I have to log into it here. I have to log in now to Facebook on my tablet. Let me see. Where are we? Give me a moment. I have to log into it. Couldn't take a second. I'm not even logged in on my tablet, so I'll go look for it now. You see, leave the surprise as well. But what are you saying, Ryan? Because you should say it here instead on Facebook. Because it take me a few minutes to get in them. Let me see. Oh yeah, Jack the Whipper. They found out who Jack the Whipper was. Never been on there. The only reason why I'm on X, no, not X, sorry, Facebook. The only reason why I'm on Facebook is because it's just based on my friends and family. You know, my close friends and my family. That's pretty much like Twitter for me is just my public space for people, my chatting, etc., etc. What do you mean special needs? What about special needs? Which about special needs? What, like, in what regard are you talking about? Resources, you know. Yeah, Jack the Whipper's identity came out too, just to say. The crime was committed 137 years ago. Apparently, we know who the person is. It was always suggested that it could have been him. Aaron Kosminski, that was his name. He was from Poland. So it seems like it's all like, yeah, I'm looking it up. Actually, I'm just getting it now. Like, I have to log into Facebook first. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's taking a second to log in. Where the fuck is this? Yeah, I haven't know, I think. Yeah, just at the login, so it's taking a second. I can't remember. I always have to try and remember the passwords and stuff. It's a nuisance. It could be right, no, because they did say, no, hear me out for a second, Elena. Hear me out. Because let's be fair, a person like Jack the Whipper that killed them 6 women wasn't going to stop. Either he died, or he's caught, or he's imprisoned in the medicine institution. And Aaron Kosminski was put into prison. No, not put in prison. He was put in the med institution because he has schizophrenia. So it does seem to be true, because that kind of person wasn't going to stop killing people until he was caught or killed. So I presume they caught him and put him into the med institution. So it does make sense in that regard, because the people did suggest it was him for a long time. I think I have your message now. Ryan, give me a second. Yeah, no, but he wouldn't have stopped, because he was a serial killer. Like, he was going to kill people, and again, he was a barber too, so he would have knowledge of using like knives and stuff like that. So it kind of does make sense, because let's be fair, Jack the Ripper wasn't just going to stop like himself, So like, either they had to caught him or he killed himself if he died. So it does seem to be true, because as soon as they caught him, all the weapon murder stopped. So it does seem to be true, that Aaron Kosminski was the person. And it's especially because many people said it over the years that this person was most likely Jack the Ripper. So it's not just an unusual thing to come up with. I'm just getting it now. It's taking a second to load, Ryan, so give me a second. No, you sent me a good few messages. Oh, I see now. I can't even see that. Oh, you said you'd like a note to your what do you call it? Policy note. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, I see you. I see what you're saying. They sent me a good few messages. No bother, God. No bother. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, comes that. Yeah, there's a lot to go. Yeah, there's six, no, seven. Sorry. Uh, yeah, I see what you're saying now. Um, see. Yeah, I see it now. And I probably have to log in again now in a second, but yeah, I just seen it there. That's what I just seen it. Yeah, I seen your pay. You send a piece of paper. I just have to see it there. Yeah, the book's a movie. Yeah, but he bought the shawl. He spent something like a good few thousand buying that shawl. Um, so and it does seem to be true when you add up all the pieces together. It does seem to be true, particularly as I say, the motor stopped pretty much after he was imprisoned, like incarcerated. Uh, so it kind of makes sense because Jack the Ripper wasn't just going to stop. He was a serial killer. He wasn't just going to stop and live the rest of his life in the cottage. You know. So it does seem to be true. Yeah, when you put two and two together. I don't know if it's agree, but it does seem to be true, especially because his name is not like it's a random person's name that was never mentioned before. I remember Aaron Kosminski was mentioned before. Yeah, there's no doubt because his semen was on the shawl. It'd be millions to one how his semen, especially, could get on the shawl and stuff like that. And especially because he was a barber, he knew how to use a knife, etc. He wasn't just an ordinary Joe that had no access to knives. Because obviously back then there would have been no electric razor, etc. etc. There would have been all knives for shaving a barber. It would have been all knives and stuff like that. But it does seem to be true because again, the DNA test. Uh, I don't think there's much dispute in that, and especially because, as I said, the killing stopped roughly around the time he was institutionalized. So it does seem to be true. When you add up all that, it does seem to be true. I suppose we never know that the Metropolitan Police know about it. Did they institutionalize himself? Did they institutionalize him? Did they put him into a mental institution, or did the family put himself into it? We don't know. Because see, the files relating to the Jack the Ripper case, etc., etc. The majority of them was destroyed in the Second World War in London. You know, so we probably never know that the Metropolitan Police know who did it. But see, back then, I don't blame the Metropolitan Police. Back then, because again, there was no such thing as fingerprints. There was no such thing as crime scene analysis. It was just kind of clues, whatever people seen. There was no CCTV or anything like that. So it was whatever people seen and heard. That's the only way to go off it. There was no fingerprints or anything like that. So it must have been pretty difficult. To try and get the culprit and stuff like that. Also, it's time to get the game ready. Um, His notes too. Which notes? What notes? Are you talking about the letters, the Dear Boss letters and stuff like that? Yeah, but the letters to the newspaper, I think they were, apart from the one with the human kidney, that probably is legitimate. But whatever about the other letters, the Dear Boss letters, etc., etc., some of them were deemed as the press, like just trying to sensationalize the story, you know. Yeah, but they were just in the infancy, like they were barely existed, like they were just probably starting off, because you have to remember this is 137 years ago, long, long time ago. Oh, a night later, talk to you later. Thank you for being here. We'll probably chat again in a few minutes' time. I know. Um, oh, I don't know. Days gone, we must. I hope City Skylines 2 comes out soon. I hope so, because I'm looking for. I want to play it on stream and stuff like that. So come on, City Skylines 2, please come out soon. Bam, 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 bam. Sorry, I'm just getting things ready here. So that's what I'm just tricking about. Sorry. Apologies, keep those. Which TikTok? What TikTok? Oh, you're talking about shaving somebody's head or something. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking to me. Yeah, chat to you later. Thank you. At 16 years, and well, that's good. Yeah, it's good to see. He get the same title as Zana, being young, being the most youngest person. Yeah, TikTok is off. Like, don't use TikTok. But anyway, we're going off to play this game now. We're off to the races. So give me about 3 minutes. And we'll have everything ready. How does that sound? Yesterday, I'd see. I don't be paying attention to the Irish League. But anyway, chat in a second. How does that sound? We can chat more about it in a second. Back in 2 minutes.